All right, good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to wait for a couple more people to get in here, but we are live today because we're going to be discussing the threat for severe weather tonight and also another round tomorrow night. And for today, the severe weather threat is mostly a hail risk, and it will include just our St. Louis counties. And we already do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect here, just across the river from Monroe County over DeSoto, Missouri, approaching the Festus, Missouri area. So if you're in Monroe County, there's a chance that this storm could meander. Right now it does not look super robust. There could be some small 1-inch hail and perhaps some 60-mile-per-hour winds with this storm. But it is not looking particularly strong. One of the problems we're going to be having today as well as tomorrow is that the St. Louis radar site is actually down. So whenever we're live tomorrow, storm chasing and covering the storms in St. Louis, we're not going to have a great view of the storms on radar, but luckily we'll be there on the ground, so that'll be much more accurate. All right, let's go ahead and get started here. We'll go to the weather models. Right here's the visible satellite currently, and you can see these white billowing clouds here to the south of St. Louis. Those are the storms that are going up there near Festus, Missouri. And you can see we do have some agitated cumulus, those bubbly white clouds over southern Illinois. Can't rule out some pop-up showers and storms pretty much all across southern Illinois today, but really the threat for hail and supercells is going to be between now and about 10 p.m. in mostly our St. Louis counties. So Monroe, St. Clair County, maybe up into Madison County. That would be the main risk today, and that would be for large hail. Can't completely rule out a tornado, but I think that the risk for that is very low today. Tomorrow, though, that's a different story. And there's a couple of things about tomorrow that I want to talk about. And this is the latest HRRR model here. This is the latest run from 1 o'clock today. And you can see this is at about 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock tomorrow. And you can see one lone supercell it shows over the St. Louis area. This isn't set in stone. Take this with a grain of salt. But it does tell us that some of the models are starting to show us that there's potential that we could see a couple of isolated supercells tomorrow. And there's a couple of things. Number one, what happens today going into the overnight with these thunderstorms and the way that they lay out boundaries is going to be key for what we see tomorrow. So wherever that warm frontal boundary sets up, and you can see over here in Ohio, and I'll scoot that over a little bit. You should be able to see that. There's going to be a complex of storms that goes through central Illinois tomorrow morning, and then that's going to lay out a boundary. Now, where that boundary sets up, that is where we're going to see the focus for storms to develop. If that boundary ends up setting up well north of the area, then we may not see as much of a severe weather threat or as much of a tornado threat. But if that boundary sets up the way that the HRRR is kind of showing it here, then that's whenever we're going to have some trouble, because the tornado parameters are going to be maximized right along that warm front, where you'll get turning of the winds with height. And you can see here, these are the tornado ingredients at about 5 o'clock. And you can see that they're the most maximized there around St. Clair County, going up into Madison County, parts of Monroe County maybe, over into Clinton, over into Washington County, Bond County, Fayette County, kind of along where that warm frontal zone sets up. And, where that sets up is still unclear. So that's the main thing that we're taking away from this. We have a lot of questions. There is potential there for a few tornadoes, though, and again, with that look of that one lone supercell, developing over the St. Louis area tomorrow. That's something that we definitely will have to watch. And we will be live tomorrow on the ground. We'll also have radar. And we'll have those storms for you live if they do develop. So thank you guys for joining. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I will answer those for you. But other than that, just wanted to give you a quick update. Again, 2 rounds of storms. We have storms tonight through the evening and overnight in the St. Louis area, and then again a second round of storms kind of in that same area, the St. Louis County. So the St. Louis County is going to get 2 rounds tonight with a hail threat, and then tomorrow, a little bit more of a robust severe weather event is possible. And again, that's going to mostly depend on where that front sets up, where that boundary between warmer and colder air sets up across the area. And there's a chance, again, that this won't set up in our area, and we'll get lucky and we won't see any significant severe weather. But should it set up and that one lone supercell blow up like the HRRR is showing, then we could have big problems. And if not a tornado, we will have quite big hail possibly tomorrow. So that's another big thing that we're going to be worried about. So if you have to park your car in a garage, would be a good idea, especially tomorrow night in the St. Louis area, because some of that hail could get up to the size of baseballs or larger if some of these ingredients do come together. And again, that's an if that warm front can set up in our area. Christine asked about Hamilton County. I think Hamilton County, as of the latest data, Hamilton County will be kind of south of the main threat. Again, I think that the area that we're most concerned with is going to be the St. Louis area up to around Vandalia. So from St. Louis to Vandalia, maybe down to Salem, down to the Nashville area possibly. But kind of that northwestern part of the viewing area will have the highest risk for severe weather tomorrow. And this isn't like our last severe weather event. There will be widespread storms. I think the ceiling was higher with the last event as far as the tornado threat, but it had a higher bust potential. I think this has less of a bust potential, but maybe not a strong tornado threat with this one. Just, we could see a couple of tornadoes. It's certainly possible, especially if that warm front sets up just right. And we're continuing to watch. We'll go back to the radar real quick just to see. We still have this one storm that is going here near DeSoto, Missouri. And you can see here it's just across the river from Monroe County. So if you live in Monroe County, especially along the Mississippi River there, you're probably seeing this storm. It looks like it will be moving into Monroe County over the next 30 minutes or so. It's not moving super fast, but it does have a severe thunderstorm warning on it. And I will go ahead and read that off real quick. 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. The storm's only moving at 25 miles per hour. And, that'll put it in Monroe County within the next maybe 30 minutes or so if it's able to hold together. And they're also considering issuing a severe thunderstorm watch for our St. Louis counties. And you can see that here. I'll zoom out just a little bit. And that will include areas like maybe Randolph County, Monroe County, St. Clair County, Washington, Clinton, Bond, and Madison County. There you can see that kind of blue circled area. That's a mesoscale discussion, and they're talking about 60% chance of issuing a severe thunderstorm watch. So again, just to cap this off, we have a severe thunderstorm threat tonight in our St. Louis counties. Large hail is the main threat. And tomorrow we may be dealing with a more significant severe weather event, but stay tuned for updates on that. And we will be live tomorrow chasing whatever does develop. We have to see where that boundary sets up. It's kind of a conditional risk. But tomorrow we could be dealing with some hail, damaging winds, and even a few tornadoes possible, especially in our St. Louis counties. And the timing on that tomorrow is going to be probably between 4 p.m. and midnight, roughly. We'll get a more narrowed down time frame within the next few hours, and I'll probably be posting a lot of updates on this. So continue to check in for updates. And again, thank you guys for joining the live. Again, we'll be live tomorrow, and we'll continue to give you updates on this, but we're going to go ahead and let you guys go. Thank you for joining, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your evening.